Good evening. On the world news tonight from Baba Bagede Imo Television. First, the headlines. Armed forces ready to support Tinubu's aspirations. Chief of Defense Staff. Moving on to the next story, $800 million stock funds federal government directs CBN to settle debts. Slain DPO, IG, others Rivers Court leaders arrests. Nigerian police intercept 600 million naira worth of Indian hemp. Councillors impeached suspended Ogun LG boss. Finally, on sports, Super Eagles star banished from first team of English Premier League. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. The news in detail. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has reiterated the readiness of the armed forces of Nigeria to support the aspirations of policies of President Bola Tinubu's government. Mr. Musa gave the assurance while presenting a paper titled Nigeria Security and Defense Policies, My Leadership Concept for the Armed Forces of Nigeria in Jaji, Kaduna. The Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukurgusau, in a statement on Wednesday said, the Defense Chief delivered a lecture to members of Senior Course 46 of Armed Forces Command and Staff College. The Defense Chief also reiterated the resolve of the military to defend democracy and rid the nation of all forms of security challenges. Mr. Musa called on the course participants to redouble their loyalty and commitment to democratic tenets and the rule of law. While on our operational visit to the Nigerian Defense Academy, the Defense Chief charged cadets to see their admission to NDA as a privilege to serve the nation. The military leader called on the cadets to be ready to serve and put into practice all they had learned in the field. Mr. Musa thanked officers, soldiers, and civilian staff for services rendered to the country and for their effort in helping to mold and produce future military leaders for the country. He also inspects ongoing projects at NDA and AFCSC, where he promised speedy completion. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo disclosed these in Abuja in the ongoing African Aviation Summit. President Bola Tinubu yesterday directed the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to create a platform for quarterly reconciliatory meetings with foreign airlines towards settling accumulated trap funds. He expressed his displeasure with the trap funds of foreign airlines in Nigeria. Before the minister's directive, foreign airlines had found it difficult to get their funds due to Nigeria's foreign exchange policy. Keyamo, while stating that they believe that a proactive approach is necessary to find a lasting solution to the issues, added that the federal government was also addressing the challenges associated with forex supply, which resulted in the huge sum of money being owed foreign airlines. The current administration is aware that one of the setbacks entrepreneurs have suffered in Nigeria in recent years is the fluctuation of forex and its availability. This administration is committed to ensuring that forex is readily available to entrepreneurs, and I have directed that the CBN hold quarterly reconciliation meetings with a view to resolving this issue. He also noted that President Tinubu was on Monday in the UAE to resolve the issue of blocked funds, among other issues. The minister also unveiled 3 roadmap projects, which include Aerotropolis Aircraft Licensing Company, ALC, and Maintenance, Repair, and Overhaul MOR facility. He further unveiled 5 focus areas to realize the country's vision of becoming an aviation hub in Nigeria. The key areas listed include infrastructure upgrade, ALC, MOR facility, and forex availability. Also, CBN is open to providing tax holidays to encourage existing and new entrants into the aviation sector. I wish to reiterate that this administration will continue to sustain the support given to the industry. MRO facility is another critical aspect that can make the Nigerian aviation industry a hub on the continent. With a shortage of qualified engineers, the current administration is willing to provide all the necessary support for the establishment of a world-class MORs and training organizations. Meanwhile, the International Air Transport Association, IATA, has criticized Nigeria over multiple charges imposed on airlines operating in the country. The global trade body representing the airline industry recently queried the federal government for not being responsive to the foreign airlines' inability to repatriate their funds in excess of $800 million US. Moving on to the next story. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has declared Gift Okpara the prime suspect in the gruesome murder of a divisional police officer in the Rivers State, Bako Agbanshin, wanted. Agbanshin, Superintendent of Police, was the DPO of Ahuada, who was ambushed, captured, and decapitated by gunmen who claimed to be members of Iceland Cold Gang. The incident took place in Odumode community, Ahuada, East local government area of the state, while Agbawa was returning from a raid of criminal hideout along with some of his men. The IGP's declaration was contained in a post released by the Rivers State Police Command through the spokesperson, Grace Iringekoko, on Wednesday for the Commissioner of Police, Emeka Nwoyi, to implement the directive. The release, which carried the picture of the miscreant Okpara, listed his offenses of appearance as conspiracy, cultism, and murder. It reads, Force Directive CID number 48 refers to the bulletin and gives details of reward for the arrest of this person. Issued by the authority of Inspector General of Police, Gift David Okpara is declared wanted by the Office of the Commissioner of Police, Rivers State Police Command. Offenses: conspiracy, cultism, and murder of SP Bako and Bashin. If seen, arrest and hand over to the nearest police station or to the Office of the Commissioner of Police, Rivers State. The statement, which gave dedicated mobile telephone numbers, added, and some reward await any persons with information leading to the arrest. Recall that the State Police Boss, Nwoyi, at an event in Port Harcourt on Monday, revealed that SP Angbashim played into the hands of his killers. Nwoyi said the cultists had sold a dummy to the late police superintendent, that they were ready to surrender their arms for them to be granted amnesty in return. It disclosed this during a solidarity protest by human rights activist Charles Jaja at the headquarters of the State Police Command in Port Harcourt. Moving on to the next story. The Nigeria Police Force, Kebbi State Command, has said its operatives intercepted 2 trailers loaded with 600 million naira worth of drugs and 7,500 live cartridges from Ghana and Benin Republic en route Lagos State. The police said the trailers were arrested at Semia Maje, Bagudo, local government area of Kebbi State. 5 persons, including the drivers of the trailers, Shola Aduyemi from Akure area of the Ondo State, Razak Agbola from Ibadan in Oyo State, Emmanuel Chukuma from Abia, and Kanta Bisa, a Ghanaian, were arrested in connection to the drugs. Kebbi State Police Command Public Relations Officer DSP Nafiu Abubakar, while briefing journalists at the headquarters in Benin Kebbi, on Thursday said one of the trailers coming into the country from Benin Republic was carrying 4,927 wraps of cannabis sativa Indian hemp. He said the other trailer from Ghana was carrying 4,906 wraps of the substance, adding that the 2 vehicles were intercepted by police border patrol team at Samia Maje in Bagudo, local government area of Kebbi State, based on intelligence reports. He said the drug substances in each of trailers were valued at 300 million naira. While answering questions from journalists, the driver of one of the trailers, Adeyemi, said he was paid 400,000 to deliver the drugs in Lagos, while the other driver, Agbola, said he was to be paid 200,000 naira upon delivery of the drugs in Lagos. He said he had gone to Benin Republic to deliver soft drinks when he was contracted to deliver the drug substance. We passed through more than 9 checkpoints before we were arrested somewhere at Semia. I think I was not properly briefed, else I wouldn't find myself in this mess, he said. The PPRO said the police had commenced investigation into the drugs matter. We will hand over the drugs to the NDLEA after our investigation is concluded. Moving on to the next story as it concerns from Ogun State. The Councillor of Ijebu East Local Government of Ogun State on Thursday impeached the suspended chairman of the local government, Honorable Wale Adedayo, over allegations of financial misappropriation and diversion of council funds, among other allegations made against him. This was according to a statement by the leader of the Legislative Council of the local government, Honorable Fasheyi Akindele. He said the embattled council boss was suspended after he owned up to allegations leveled against him. The statement read, the councillors of Ijebu East local government of Ogun State earlier today impeached the suspended chairman of the local government, Honorable Wale Adedayo, over allegations of financial misappropriation and diversion of council funds, among other allegations made against him. After a series of invitations by the House, which were ignored in the past, Adedayo eventually appeared before the Legislative Council today as the councillors continued the probe of the chairman. The suspended chairman owned up before the full House of 11 councillors that he diverted federal allocations sent to the council by the state government and used them for purposes other than what the state government approved. Adedayo also agreed that he spent the council funds in August 2023, even when the budget was yet to be approved, whereas the laws only allow him to spend till March 2023. Adedayo also opened up that he used 5.2 million naira to produce 20 pieces of chairs and tables instead of the 290 chairs that the money was meant for as approved by the state government. The chairman has run foul of laws of the land, specifically the Ogun State local government laws of 2006, and committed serious impeachable offenses was therefore established. After about 5 hours of deliberation, the impeachment of the chairman was put to vote. 5 councillors voted for his impeachment, 4 voted against, with 1 abstention. Therefore, the leader of the House pronounced Mr. Wale Adedayo impeached as the chairman of Ijebu East local government. Going further from the impeached chairman, Adedayo had earlier in the morning appeared before the legislature of the local government to defend the allegation of financial misappropriation and maladministration leveled against him. Councillors were said to have been brought into the local government in a white Costa civilian bus with registration number Ogun AH782DEV, guarded by the police in the white Toyota Hilux patrol van. Adedayo said, I was at Ogbere this morning to honor the invitation of the Legislative Council. I did not go in with my any documents. I referred them to files in the office to guide them in the investigation. I'm aware they were being sponsored from Abiodun, but they denied it. The bus that brought them into the council secretariat came from Abiodun. It belongs to the state government. I don't have any issues with that. I told them to be thorough in their investigation because posterity will judge each and every one of us. Moving on to the next story. The Abia State Police has confirmed the death of Mr. Zachary Maduka, a campaign director of the Labour Party in the 2023 elections in Uturu, Sokoto local government area of the state. Maduka, a 70-year-old native of Ezekiel Akpukwa village, was yet to be identified man on Wednesday night. The police public relations officer in the state, ASP, Maureen Chioma Chinaka, confirmed the incident in a statement made available to correspondents on Thursday. She pointed out that investigations were currently ongoing to unravel those behind the dastardly act. The statement read, Mr. Maduka was violently attacked, shot and killed by unidentified assailants while he was at a drinking joint at Amalechi Akpukwa community. Upon receiving this distressing information, a joint team comprising police and army personnel were simply dispatched to the scene. Tragically, they recovered Mr. Maduka's lifeless body. Photographic evidence was captured at the scene, and the deceased's remains were promptly evacuated and deposited at a Marist mortuary in the community. If you are just joining, you are watching the world news from Baba Bagede Imo Television. Next to come. 4 people have been confirmed killed, with 18 others kidnapped during an attack by terrorists. Locally dubbed as bandit in Giyawa village, Goroyun local government area of Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria. The Sokoto State Police Command, while confirming the incident, said that apart from abducting 18 residents, the assailants carted away valuables including livestock. The command spokesperson, DSP Ahmed Rufai, said that 7 of the abducted victims later escaped and returned to the community where many residents had fled for safety. Meanwhile, 11 persons are currently with the bandits. According to information, some residents of the affected community had claimed that over 30 persons were abducted. However, the police have maintained that 11 persons are still with the attackers after 7 escaped. The police said its personnel are on the trail of the assailant and are making effort to ensure normalcy is restored to the affected community and environments. And to the next story. Barely a month after some communities in Shiroro, local government area of Niger State, pledged their allegiance to notorious bandit warlord Dogo Gide and his group, more communities in the area have followed suit and have submitted themselves to the rulership of the most dreaded bandit leader in the state. Following a peace meeting between the communities and the bandit leader on Thursday last week, where no fewer than 36 villages declared their loyalty to the group, Dogo Gide has agreed for the communities to reopen 3 major markets in the area that were shut as a result of insecurity. Among the latest villages that pledged their allegiance to the bandit leader are Makere, Dokoibe, Gudodo, Ageyi, Pegere, Gandu, Akotu, Desapa, Nasa, and Gofa, and all other Iboro districts. In Kusaso district, no fewer than 11 villages, namely Bokyom, Saleri, Apei, Kuchiwa, Gwensa, Kasa, Ajatawi, Meigu, Kuchiwa, Obon, and many others, including 14 villages, were among those that declared their support for Dogo Gide leadership. They are Mutunda, Alaye Kwai, Borussia Kasayabana, Ashiayi, Angua Ayaba, Jitna, Kachere, Gada, to mention a few. However, in the Chukuba district, 11 villages, namely Apapi, Nai, Giai, Gudu, Mitna, Sapei, Topei, Chalipei, Yanka, Bodo, and so on. A source close to the communities who disclosed these latest developments to correspondent in a telephone interview in Mina also said that 3 major markets in the area that were shut down and Iteto remained a no-go area for the people as a result of the banditry activities have been reopened on the order of the bandit warlord. According to him, the affected markets are Kaswero Market, Iboro Market, and Chukuba Market, adding that Dogo Gide also told the people that he will be in charge of all the revenue collection in the market, and the people agreed because they have no choice, at least if that is what will make them live in peace. From that story from Niger State, we'll go to foreign story. The G20 summit held in New Delhi, India is over, and by every metric of assessment, it was a great outing for the Nigerian delegation led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Too early to say Nigeria has once again regained its pride of place among nations that matter. Maybe yes, maybe no, but time will tell. But if morning tells how the day is going to pan out, then I have a hunch that Nigeria's redemption may have begun. The invitation of Nigeria as a guest to the G20 summit itself a statement and testament to the country's redemption being met right by the government of President Tinubu. There is also a regional endorsement of the renewed hope agenda coming from American President Joe Biden, who said Nigeria's invitation to the G20 summit is a recognition of Nigeria's important global role as Africa's largest democracy and economy. For the president, the summit represents perhaps his first significant international outing within the context of investment facilitation, resource mobilization, and building economic partnerships across borders since his assumption of office on 29 May 2023. And finally, on sports. English Premier League side Nottingham Forest have made public the list of 25 senior players officially registered by the club for their campaign in the English Premier League. In their list, the club included 2 senior internationals for Nigeria in Olaino and Taiwo Awoniyi, but had no place for 25-year-old Emmanuel Dennis, a €10 million signing from Watford a year ago. Dennis has failed to replicate the same form that saw him score 11 goals for Watford in his debut season in England. And even though he has already played for the club this season, he has been told he is surplus to requirements. He will no longer play for the club. We are keen on letting him leave, but have been impossible to so far, despite reported interest from Turkey. We understand his wage demand is what is stalling the move. Furthermore, he won't be a part of the first team training for the time being until his future is sorted. Turkey side Adana Demirspor, coached by the Dutch legend Patrick Kluivert, are the team reported to be closing meeting on his wage demand. With a sports story, we've come to the end of today's world news. Before we go, some headlines. Armed forces ready to support Tinubu's aspiration, Chief of Defense Staff. $800 million US dollar stock front, federal government directs CBN to settle debts. Slain DPO, IG orders Rivers Court leaders arrest. Nigerian police intercept 600 million naira worth of Indian hemp. Moving on, Just In's councillors impeached suspended Ogun LG boss. And on sports, Super Eagles star banished from first team in his team in England. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Babagede Imo Television. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of recruiting services, coverage of events and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Mori Rabila Lawal. Good evening.